This topic is more transformations with the reciprocal and step functions. We have the parent function for the reciprocal function and then a transformation. So I'm going to graph the first function. If you remember the first function when you have a reciprocal of its parent, you have an asymptote vertically at x equals 0, and then a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. And then if I call this 1 and 1, and negative 1 and negative 1, we have a critical point here at 1, 1, and then another critical point at negative 1, negative 1. Then they create those curves. With our new function, we have a transformation that's inside the function. So this is telling me I'm going to move to the left 5, and this is telling me I'm going to move down 2. So I'm going to take those blue asymptotes from my parent function and shift to the left 5. Create that vertical asymptote. I'm going to go down 2. Horizontal asymptote. And now we would create the same critical points. Notice in the green over here, from our origin, 0, 0, we went right 1 and up 1, and then left 1, down 1. We would do the same thing over here. We're going to go from the origin, right 1, up 1. So here's our critical point of negative 4, negative 1. And then we create our curve. And then our other point of our critical from this is negative 6, negative 3. You could also find your additional points from evaluating the function. Here's our function. And you can find a few additional points, like we did on our previous video. Let's go on to our parent function of now a reciprocal squared. So I'm going to graph the one on the left, its parent function. We have an asymptote at x equals 0, an asymptote at y equals 0, and now I have a critical point at 1, 1, and a critical point at negative 1, 1. And there's my parent function. Notice in my red function with the new function, when I go minus 3, that means I'm going to go to the right 3, and then up 1 for that plus 1. So I'm going to take those asymptotes, so I'm going to take my vertical asymptote, I'm going to move it to the right 3, so 1, 2, 3, create a new vertical line, and then I'm going to go up 1, at y equals 1. Now my critical point, if you notice from my center on my parent function, is right 1, up 1. Here is my center. Now I'm going to go right 1 and up 1. So that point is 4, 2. Create my curve. And then my other one is left 1, up 1. There's my point. I'm at 2, 2, and then create my curve. If you want to find more points on the graph, here is my function in the red. Evaluate it for more points around those critical points. So you could find more points by plugging it in. Our last example is our step function. We have a transformation going on. So our parent function, remember our critical point, is at 0, 0. If we graph that step function first, we've already graphed the parent on a previous video. Closed circle to open circle, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to graph a few. Closed circle to open, closed circle to open, closed circle to open. Now notice in the red function is my new function. The red inside, this is telling me to go to the right 7. And then the plus 2 is telling me to go up 2. So my new parent, or my new critical point is over 7 up 2. So there's 7, there's 2. Close to open, close to open, close to open. And there's my new function.